I think it's fair to say that Australians have every right to feel somewhat comfortable with the status of this virus in Australia. And as I said, we've got 8 cases from the Diamond Princess cruise ship who are confined to barracks, as it were, in Darwin. And by sometime next week, their 14-day isolation may expire, which means Australia may not have a case on its books. I thought we'd see how those confined from, firstly, the cruise ship and now in Darwin are faring, and what's the mood like at the mining camp just outside of Darwin. I've got Ellis and Kim Vincent on the line via Skype. Thank you to both of you for your time this evening.
Thanks, Chris. Our pleasure.
Now, I wanted to ask you before you got going whether you were counting off a calendar somewhere. You must be counting down the days. When was the last time you were on Australian land?
Well, so soil in general was like 18 or 19 days before we got off the ship. But we have our release date, Chris. It was texted through to us just a while ago. Our release time from here is 1:30 in the morning on the 5th of March, and that coincides, when I said, where do you get that time from? That coincides from the time they locked the door on the 747 prior to takeoff from Haneda Airport. So we had our 14 days quarantine started then.
So you've still got another 7 days to go. How are you feeling being locked up for so long in so many places?
I did well today. I got 15 hours sleep.
So lots of sleeping?
Yes. Unfortunately, Chris, is the same. We've got wonderful staff. The Army's just brilliant. The people we see every day here, our screeners, they've just got better. But, you know, the facility has not got better, and you're not aided by the weather here. I mean, I say we have storms, we have rain, so whatever facilities are there for us to use, you really can't go out and use them. So nothing much changed there, although I can tell you the choice of food has changed and it has improved.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. But, Kim, as I understand it, when you first got there, you got to the stage where you walked into your rooms and there was I guess the cleanliness of the room was very much in question, was it?
Very definitely. Well, first of all, the air conditioner wasn't working whatsoever. And then there were cockroach droppings all over the counter and floors and in the shower. The toilet was not clean either. I've wearing slippers here constantly because the floor was dirty. I finally found that there was a mop and bucket in the laundry room, so I could clean my floor finally. Oh. But builder's debris was left in drawers where your clothes should go. So no, the room had not been cleaned properly. It
would have been handy to have something cleaner for you, given the fact that you've been cooped up on the Diamond Princess for so long. And waiting to be released back into Australia. It's been a long journey. They could have done a lot better.
Very definitely, they could have done a lot better as far as the administration here goes. But I do understand, from what I've heard, that they had trouble getting staff to even work here while the evacuees were here.
Well,
before we arrived. So that may have contributed to the problem. I can't say.
OK. But what's the mood like among others who are there? And where are the 8 who have contracted the virus? Where are they being kept?
I think some of those have been repatriated back to states closer to hospitals in the states that they came from. And the mood here, Chris, is quite subdued. I don't think you're going to see anyone walking around here celebrating. Quite subdued. There's a little bit of a camaraderie there. We've known each other from the ships. We all smile and nod to each other, but that's about as close as we dare get. I'd just like to say one thing I found out from the people that run the... who's the people that run this place? Not
Osmat.
Osmat. I did ask about the quarantine arrangements in Australia, and I was reading about the Prime Minister's plan to activate the pandemic coronavirus plan in Australia.
Yep.
Well, I'm afraid fever clinics just don't work. We don't have, I found out, in this country, we do not have as such a quarantine station as such in this country of ours. We have no dedicated quarantine station. So it's just as usual. We have spent, I think, more money on royal commissions in my lifetime than we've spent on hospitals. And I'm serious. There's no quarantine station in Australia.
Let's hope we learn from this Ellis, and we actually have a facility that may be better adopted for this kind of purpose than, say, Christmas Island and some mining camp just outside of Darwin.
Absolutely, but the people here, the AUSBAT people tell us, and the Army guys tell us, you're better off here than in Christmas Island. Christmas Island is a detention camp, and you're better off here. But, you know, we're subject to the elements. OK, you can complain about TV. We've had no TV today simply and purely because the storm's here and it just goes off, disappears.
Yeah.
I'm proud of one thing, Chris.
Yeah.
I agitated here to make sure we got newspapers because no one had even given that a thought. So now we're getting the Australian and we're getting the Territorian.
That's fantastic. I'm glad you're getting the Territorian as well because it's a great entertainment. To both of you, thank you very much for your time. Hang in there. Only 7 days to go.
And thanks for calling us, Chris. Thank you very much.